Hey ladies, welcome back. Natalie Newhart here, founder of Fit Addicted Nutrition. And today what we're going to be talking about is how to lose weight in menopause. So we're going to talk a little bit about, one of the many things that so many women, that all women will have to go through, and that so many women are really troubled by and confused by. And that's this period of time, after, 40 years old-ish, once we hit that perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal period. And so what you need to understand is that once you cross this menopausal period and your estrogen and progesterone starts to change, that's going to change the way that your metabolism behaves. It's going to change the way that you burn fat, the type of workouts you need to do, etc. Okay, and so I want to review a couple key concepts here that you really need to understand that are going to be super insightful for you, so you can understand why your body worked the way it did, when you were younger, and how it's going to change, and why it doesn't work the same way, and what to do about it. Okay, now that you're in menopause. And so the most important thing that we first want to just kind of understand here is that several things are really happening to you as we age. Okay, our hormones just decline naturally, our female hormones, estrogen and progesterone. And the first thing that is happening is, when estrogen is coming down, you are becoming more carb reactive. In other words, the same amount of carbs that used to keep you lean and thin when you were younger, now all of a sudden isn't doing that, and it may actually be causing you to get fatter. It's making you store more fat. Okay. The second thing that you need to understand is that you are more stress reactive as well. Okay, so you're not only carb reactive, but you're now stress reactive. In other words, the effects of stress and these stress hormones are causing more dysfunction. Okay, you're not able to burn fat. And this is why you're not just gaining fat, but you're also storing more of it around the middle, around the belly. This is why so many women, when they hit menopause, they start to get a little belly pooch, okay? And the other thing that's happening here is you have an estrogen to progesterone ratio that is much more in favor of estrogen, despite the fact that both hormones are lower. So let's just kind of dive into that a little bit more. So this is just an example of, when you were younger, like say age 20 over here, and then here's on the scale of age 60. So when we were younger, our two hormones, estrogen and progesterone, were working in our favor. And this is what really kept us lean, and it keeps our waist thin. So estrogen is, estrogen is really is important for, keeping the waist thin, and also really keeping you like a buffer to stress. So when estrogen was around, you were able to eat more food, you were able to stay up later, train harder, go, just drive harder in life, and not have any effects from it. And then progesterone, she's more protects from stress. She's just like another buffer, another barrier, or another shield for stress. And so she was higher too when you were younger, okay, when we're at, age 20. But as we start to age, our hormones naturally decline. And what this means for us is that, there's a certain point where we start to notice that the same thing that we used to do is no longer working for us. We're no longer getting results off the 1 hour of training a day. Or maybe the 2 hours of training, we're now actually getting fatter. Like we're trying to work harder and we're actually gaining more weight. And so this is all because the body is now more sensitive to stress, and it's more reactive to carbs. And so, instead of trying to fight our way through and just running ourselves into the ground and wondering, why nothing's working and we're working so hard, we really need to understand this idea of how the hormones are playing a role. Okay. And so what this means is that as these hormones are coming down, we need to start paying more attention to what we're eating and how we're training, and making sure we're really, taking on that approach of training smarter, not harder. Like I used to fight that sort of, mantra when I was younger. I was like, I don't want to train smarter. I want to train harder. And yeah, you can get away with it when you're younger, but when you start to, age, man, and you're training harder and nothing's working, like there's nothing worse than putting a ton of effort into the gym and your diet and your body doesn't reflect it. Like I can't tell you how many women, when they first started working with me, they're just like, if there was, if my body if my effort reflected all the work I was putting into it, I should be like super shredded. And I get it, like, because I was there. And that's because the body just doesn't respond that way anymore. It doesn't respond to just hard work. It responds to smart work. And so we're going to talk about what that looks like. So basically, there's 3 things that you want to start to keep in mind once these hormones start to change. You really want to start changing your focus from a calories approach to more of a carb-centered approach. And so, because we are more stress or carb reactive, we need to pay particular attention to carbohydrates. The second thing we want to do is pay attention to how much training we're doing. We definitely want to switch up from training, doing a ton of cardio and starting to lift more weights. Also, how much training we're doing. The body's not going to be able to handle the same amount of training that you used to do. And the thing is, the kicker is that everybody's going to be different. So I can't tell you, like, I've worked with so many menopausal women, and they range all across the board. So, women, some of my menopausal women can eat 200 to 300 grams of carbs, 2 or 3 days a week and train hard, whereas other women can't go above 100, I don't know, it just depends. Like, can't go above 100 carbs. And as soon as they start to put any cardio in, they start to gain weight. And so it's all across the board. So it's really figuring out what works for you, because there is no just standard approach of what will work for everybody. Okay. And then the third thing that to keep in mind is that you really want to start to look at your lifestyle, and instead of driving the way that you're so used to driving, that go, push harder, grind more, just, white knuckle your way through, through diets and through life, just running people around and doing to-do lists and all that stuff. That type of mentality, that type of lifestyle, that type of way of being is actually going to probably be the biggest thing standing in your way from seeing the effort you put into the gym and kitchen. Okay. And so we really need to start chilling out more and, start doing some more relaxing type activities that, that just manages stress better, a lot more recovery type stuff like walking and, Tai Chi and yoga and stuff like that. And, meditation, stuff like that. So these are really the 3 key points that as you're approaching menopause, if you've already started to notice, hey, what used to work for me is no longer working for me, these are going to be the 3 things you definitely want to start to pay attention to. And then, and I show you how to do this in my 4-week female hormone diet program. That is not only for women who have a menstrual cycle, a period, but it's also for women who are trying to, basically shift into a different approach. Instead of training harder all the time, they need to start training smarter. And so that's what the female hormone diet is designed to do. So you guys can check that out. It's a 4-week online course that will literally walk you through step by step. And it even has little sections for menopausal women on how to tailor your diet and exercise to start getting results. Now, the last thing I want to just touch on is that I get a lot of questions of what about hormone therapy? Should I be taking, bioidentical hormones? And my first answer is you certainly can, but I usually don't put my clients on bio-HRT until after I've done 2 things. So after we've taken care of the lifestyle, the way of being, the way that you go through your day, the way that you train and the way that you eat, we don't even touch any type of supplements, because literally supplements will just be a waste of money if you don't take care of the way that you live internally. If you are just kind of always in a anxious state or, overwhelmed or just in a go mode, you really need to start learning a new way of being before we start adding supplements, just because supplements won't do the job. The way of being is the root that's causing the stress in the body. If you are constantly go and find yourself having difficulty sitting still, chilling out, taking rest days, then adaptogens and bio-HRT won't do anything for you. Okay. Once you take care of lifestyle, that's when I start to move my clients into adaptogens. That's when I'll put adaptogens on board to help balance out the hormones. And then If we're still struggling to lose weight, that's when I would add in bio HRT. But typically, just doing these first two things alone will definitely start to shape your body back, keep the waist leaner, start to allow you to lose weight. But I can tell you, one thing is for sure is doing a traditional diet approach, just an eat less, exercise more, your typical, off the shelf diet is certainly not going to work for you anymore. So, it's just, there's no point in putting in all that effort and not seeing any results for it. Like it's time to start taking a different approach and seeing some results for the effort that you put in. So, for those of you guys that, want to learn how to do this, I've got a 4-week online course called the Female Hormone Diet. You can check that down on the link below. Those of you guys that want your handheld and just be, because the thing is, a lot of women, they'll start the online program and then they won't actually stay accountable to it. They won't find themselves following through with it. And so they just kind of go from one diet to the next. And eventually it's like, well, you should have just gotten a coach to begin with. So definitely I'd say like the surest way, if you really are serious about getting your body back and keeping it lean and learning how to do it in a sustainable way, you can apply to work with me at talk2nat.com. And we can see if we'd be a good fit for each other. But that is definitely going to be the surest, the quickest way for you to get the body you want, and learn how to maintain it. Those of you guys that are not in the position that, just wants an online course, that you've done really well with online courses, you can keep yourself accountable, then definitely check out the 4-week female hormone diet below, because it will walk you through how to really cycle your diet and how to turn, into a sort of go approach, a train harder approach into a train smarter approach, okay? Using these 3 things. So check that out, guys. Hope you learned something, and much love to you all. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.